First, the international media and political focus has been on Canberra for the Australian leg of the Beijing Olympic torch relay. Organisers declared it a success, but for many Canberrans the enduring images were not of the torch but the sea of Chinese and Tibetan flags. Chris Kimball observed the passions played out on both sides from start to finish.
I welcome the Olympic torch.
Our city to the world.
That is and what it means.
I appeal to you, please. This is a city and a country of peace. The people with the red flags, please stay on this side, please, or this event is just not going to happen.
One China! One China! One China forever!
And of course the smoke and siren for cleansing.
We want peace. Peace in Tibet. That's our main message.
Is it a relief to see a carnival atmosphere and see people happy, at least at this point?
Well, it is, because that's what it's all about. And, you know, we've been very disappointed with what's happened to the torch in some parts of the world. But we're looking forward and hoping that Australia can show the rest of the world how it should be done.
The strategy of keeping the groups apart seems to be effective.
Yeah, but they're doing it themselves. They're doing it as requested rather than being physically pushed apart. So and that's the good thing, that they've actually agreed and they're abiding by the agreement to stay apart, to make their point, but not to clash.
Are you worried about the way the day's going?
No worry.
Go and watch the event. Go and enjoy the event, please, while you go.
Are people angry? We're trying to understand why people are angry.
Wow, we're against the separated, because Tibet belongs to China.
It's very important for Tibet, situation, and with Chinese people want to be human rights, and they want to be freedom. We want to be freedom.
So many people, Chinese people, turn up today is because what happened in Paris and London.
We are not against the Olympic and we are not against the Chinese population. We are against the Chinese government policy, which we want to change it. We want a human right in Tibet.
I'm not surprised. I know Chinese, what's they like. I know they. That's why I'm not surprised for them.
No Chinese government make a racial discrimination between us and Chinese. Used to be a slave owner.
I said we are brothers and sisters.
Oh, this is our place. Just get on here. Yeah, just get on here. Just get on here.
China wants to go two countries. Two countries.
Never stop you! Back up.
If you have a red flag, move back! Move back now, thank you! Move back!
Peacefully, everybody peacefully. Peacefully.
Peacefully.
Amidst the emotion of the torch relay, there's been concerns raised that some key messages may have been lost. What is the situation in Tibet? And how do Chinese people feel about the Olympics? This week I spoke to two Canberrans about the issue, one from Tibet, another from China.
I think for me, sports and politics should not be mixed, especially under the Olympic movement. Personally, if there are protests or there have been protests, I certainly would fully support the protests should be non-violent, non-physical, under the country's rule of law. Anything beyond that, I certainly would not support that.
The eyes of the world are on the Olympic torch, and because the Olympics are being held in Beijing, in China, and I think China has a very poor human rights record, and I think the world needs to know about these things. So to protest during the torch relay, I think is a good way of getting our message heard. There is gross violations of human rights and oppression and suppression happening in Tibet. So the Tibetans have been suffering for more than 50 years under Chinese rule.
Stop killing in Tibet!
How does the Chinese community generally feel about the protests so far?
I think the protests spark up a lot of the, I call it nationalistic support. Possibly our support is not directly reacted to the protest itself, but rather than to support our mother country, that's where we come from, hosting the Beijing Olympic.
I think China is also using the Olympics to sort of, to legitimize its rule over Tibet. And if the world just stands by and says, it's okay for China to go ahead, it's like saying, China can do whatever they want in Tibet, and it's okay because human rights is different and sports is different. I mean, we do respect the fact that it is sports, but I think everything is interrelated, and we can't just ignore human rights and, the Tibetan suffering in Tibet and say that's a different issue. Right now, Tibet is cut off from the rest of the world.
The Tibetans say that this is the only forum in which they can get the world stage to raise awareness about what they say are the human rights abuses of China. What would you say to them?
I think probably is a way, not the way. If we listened or we seen recent television footage, Prime Minister Kevin Rudd, when he visited China, he already put a plug about his comment about the situation in Tibet. And to me, for the head of state of Australia, already put forward on our behalf for the comment about human rights issues, I think that to me is quite a strong statement. And certainly there are reactions from China. I leave it. I don't think I wish to comment about that.
You go back to your country. You stay on your country.
There were maybe very aggressive behavior on some parts, but I think also, having massive security around the torch and having, the Chinese security personnel guarding it, I think that provokes a lot of, emotions among the protesters. So, I don't think that, doing anything to disrupt the torch relay or, causing troubles like that is a good thing. But I think people should sort of understand what is behind it and what has caused these people to do these things.
On a daily basis, we have protesters, very peaceful protesters, outside the Chinese embassy in Canberra, and I understand some of them are in Sydney or Melbourne. Now, this is a democracy, and therefore, if they wish to put up a protest or disagreement of various agenda of various country, and that, to me, is a good avenue as a democracy to prevail.
What do the Olympics mean